Did you ever notice that you can tell how engaged the fans of an artist are by looking at their Spotify Wrapped? Hey, it's John here at Hyped It, and this is the time of the year when lots and lots of artists who have their music on Spotify post their Spotify Wrapped. It looks something like this, and Spotify makes it for us at the end of a year to celebrate the listeners, the streams, the playlist ad, the saves, and all the good stats for our music. Now, a few days ago, one of the independent artists inside of my VIP circle, that's a small group of artists who I work with one-on-one, shared something about his Spotify Wrapped that was so insightful that I want to share it with you here real quick.
I compared myself and my own Spotify Wrapped stats to the Spotify Wrapped stats of other artists. And what I saw is they have the same amount of monthly listeners, but they have far less streams than myself. And I think that is due to the system that we do with Hyped It and Meta ads, that we get more streams per listener. And that was really, in Germany, we call it aha moment, where you realize, there's something that is actually true and that is actually working there. So I had definitely like 4 or 5 times more streams than other artists with the same listening numbers. And that was definitely amazing. And I think that is absolutely due to Meta ads and the Hyped It system. So yeah, thank you for that. And I just wanted to say that your system is definitely working.
It was just exciting to see how Rainer got a lot more streams compared to other artists with a similar number of listeners. And so after that, I jumped into my Spotify for Artists to do a little bit of a deep dive about where is the engagement coming from and where, as independent music artists promoting our music, where are we getting the biggest engagement for the promotional efforts that we're putting into our music. So I want to share this with you. Let's jump over to my screen. I'm in my Spotify for Artists right now, looking at the audience section, and I brought up my data for the last 12 months. And you can see that over the last 12 months, I got 291,888 listeners and right around 1.5 million streams for a ratio of streams to listeners of 5.139. Now this, to me, is one of the most important ratios that you can look up or compute in Spotify for Artists, because the more streams you get per listener, the more effective your promotion is and the more engaged fans are you attracting. And to dive into this a little bit deeper, I think it's valuable to break down of how the number of streams per listener goes up. It goes up when a fan listens to the same song multiple times, right? So they repeat stream, and that can happen in the same session, or because they can save your music and then bring it up again from their saved songs library. Or it also goes up if the same fan listens to multiple of your songs. So for example, you show up in their release radar with a new song and they stream it there. Or you have a playlist with multiple of your songs on it, and that's where they stream multiple of your songs. Generally said, the higher your streams per listener ratio is, the better your music promotion works. And so to share with you where I'm getting my most engaged fans from, I want to hop over to the music section here, and I'm going to look at playlists, and I'm going to open this up to the maximum time range that I can. So let's start with the algorithmic playlists. So up front here is radio. That's a streams to listener ratio of almost 3 times. That's not that bad. It's less than what I'm getting from my music overall, but it's not bad. That means a lot of listeners who get my music through radio listen to it multiple times. Then we have Discover Weekly here. Discover Weekly is just about 2 times. So that's way below the average I see across my account. We have Release Radar. Release Radar is just a bit above 2. And then we have the Daily Mix here that looks like it's a little below 3. And then here there's On Repeat. Now On Repeat, that is a great ratio. That's like 8 streams per listener. The challenge with On Repeat is that that is something that Spotify feeds back to fans who are already super fans and are listening to my music on repeat a lot. So you can technically promote your music to fans on repeat. Quite the opposite. By promoting your music to fans and those fans liking your music, it ends up on repeat. So all in it, I'm loving all the algorithmic streams that I'm getting from my music, but from an engagement perspective, the engagement here is definitely lower than the average streams to listener ratio that I have across all my music on Spotify for the last 12 months. But let's see what else is going on here. So there are some editorial playlists here. The first one is This Is John Gold. This is a playlist that Spotify made for me. Now, in order to get one of these playlists, you have to have a certain number of songs on Spotify, and then it automatically generates that playlist for you. And the benefits of having a playlist with all of your music on it are pretty obvious. This playlist generates a streams to listener ratio that is somewhere between 15 and 16, it looks like. But the number of listeners is relatively small because this playlist isn't being actively promoted, it's found. Probably fans who discovered my music through other channels, then came to my John Gold artist profile, and this is when they saw this playlist and they checked it out from there. Then we have New Music Friday Dance here. That looks like it's very close to 1-to-1, so very low engagement on this playlist here. This one, Rhythm and Groove here, is about a 2 multiple, and then these other ones here we can neglect. But if I go down further, so now we're into the listener playlist, and this is where it gets really exciting. This is where I have my This Is John Gold playlist. This is a playlist that I made for myself. This is not the one that Spotify made for me, and actually I had this one before Spotify even created the This Is John Gold playlist. And if you check this one out, 380,000 streams from 32,400 listeners. Now this is a multiple of about 11 to 12 streams per listener. And that makes this one of the greatest promotional assets that I have. If I go to this playlist here to show you this real quick, you can see that I've been growing this playlist and promoting this playlist for a while. It now has over 53,000 likes on the playlist, which means that whenever I release a new song, I can just add that song to this playlist and it will automatically pick up new listeners and streams just by being added to this playlist. And this is one of the big advantages that this self-made This Is playlist has over the one that Spotify made for me. On this playlist, I control the content. If I have a new song coming out, I can put it onto this playlist, I can move it into the first position. So no matter how you're promoting your music on Spotify, sending the fan traffic that you generate from your promotion to a playlist that has only your music on it is one of the best ways to get maximum engagement on Spotify and get the most streams out of every listener. And since streams are money, even if it's not big money, it also means you're getting a little bit more money from your audience. Now, whether I'd call this playlist This Is John Gold or John Gold Essentials or Best of John Gold, it doesn't matter. The key here is that it has only my tracks on it, and I always try to keep it a selection of my best tracks. And if you're wondering, John, this is easy, but how do you actually promote this playlist? Then let me show you real quick. What I use to promote this playlist are music ads on Instagram and Facebook. I found these to be one of the most amazing ways and tools to generate die-hard fans for my music. And the reason is very simple. By promoting on Facebook and Instagram, I'm not trying to convince any audience that my music is good. No, I laser target my ads to music fans of my genre. So for every person Instagram and Facebook serve my ad to, they've already determined that that person loves music that sounds like mine, which is old school house music. And I can do this with Instagram and Facebook ads by using interest targeting to tell Instagram and Facebook exactly who I want to see my ads. And so those fans that already love the sound and style of music I make, all they have to do is discover me as a potentially new artist who makes that sound of music that they already love. And that's why they're so likely to then just come over to Spotify, check out this playlist, and keep streaming my music. This makes music ads one of the most powerful ways to generate real listeners, real fans, and real streams pretty much on demand from music ads. And the way I'm creating those music ads is with Hyped It. So if I show you my Hyped It dashboard here right now, I'm on the Add Campaigns tab. All I do is gonna hit New Campaign, and then I'm using a Grow My Spotify playlist campaign here because that allows me to promote not just a specific song on Spotify, but promote it on my This Is John Gold playlist. And this is how I'm getting this super engaged audience and this really high multiple of streams to listeners. If you want to learn more about the specific campaign settings that I use for this Grow My Spotify playlist campaign, then let me also leave a link above here to a video where I'm breaking it all down step by step. It's really fast, and it's really easy. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe, and the bell icon below, or share it with another music artist who you think would benefit from the information in this video. And if one of your goals right now is to get more listeners, more streams, and more fans for your music on Spotify, and use the same tools and technique that Rainer talked about, that's gotten him such an engaged fan base that beat the number of streams he got compared to other artists with similar amounts of listeners, then check out this short clip right here. Want to get your music heard on Spotify with AI? I just launched a brand new video training program called the Spotify Growth Switch, where I show you how to start growing real listeners, real fans, and real streams on Spotify in less than 10 minutes using software and AI. I've used the Spotify Growth Switch system to now grow my music to over 7 million streams and tens of thousands of monthly listeners on Spotify. This works for any music genre. It gets you real fans and listeners super fast, and it's extremely easy to set up, literally just like flipping a spotlight switch for your music. Despite using AI, you don't need to know nothing about tech stuff in order to be successful with this. I've had the tremendous privilege of helping multiple tens of thousands of music artists grow their music on Spotify, many of which have grown to much larger numbers, lots more listeners, lots more streams than I have using the systems that I've taught. Makes me so proud of their success. And so if you want to get more real listeners, real fans, and real streams for your music fast using state-of-the-art software and AI, then click the link below this video and check out the Spotify Growth Switch. I can't wait to help you grow your music on Spotify, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside.